Hey there, this is Jeannie with a short practice on back pain. This is just a few movements that you can incorporate into your everyday if you have a basically sedentary lifestyle. If you sit a lot for work or just in general, I know right now with the social distancing that we're all having to do, we're probably all sitting a lot more than we used to. For me personally, it's on the couch a lot. So when we are sitting a lot, we will compact the hips quite a bit, and it can lead to a lot of back pain. So I'm going to teach you a few things to alleviate some of that pain. Now, the first thing that you want to do when you have back pain is notice what movements you're really doing a lot of, or what positions you're in a lot. So, like I said, sitting can be one of those, or it could be other things. If you're texting a lot or playing on your phone a lot and your head is forward a lot, it can lead to some strain on the back. But truthfully, most of the time what I see is hip issues. So, what you'll need for this practice, if you want to practice along, is a scarf. You can use a regular neck scarf, or a belt, or some kind of strap. And then a pillow, a blanket, if you have a bolster or a meditation pillow, or even a rolled up yoga mat can be helpful here. So that's what you'll need, and we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing that you want to do is just start to warm up the hips and the back. So one of the things that I like to start with just to warm up the body is a Sufi grind. So we take our hands, placing them on the knees and sitting up tall, rolling your shoulders back, but keeping them neutral. You don't want to be compressing back here. You just want to keep the shoulders neutral under the ears. And in the Sufi grind, we inhale and come forward. So you're going to start to roll around in circles, okay? Inhaling as you come forward. Exhaling as you fold back. Breathing in forward, exhaling back. And what I like about this is you can go fast or slow. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit. But you always want to inhale forward, exhale back. And get that full rotation. So you want to be really bringing the heart around as deeply as it'll go. Folding it in as you exhale, and really opening the heart forward as you inhale. And then I want you to reverse it. So inhale forward still, but go in the opposite direction. And this is just a really fun little movement. It'll also get your digestion going. So I really like that, just as a feel-good movement. All right, the next thing we're going to do is a little side body stretch. So we're gonna bring our hands down to the sides of our hips here. And we're gonna take a breath in as we lift our arms. So you can imagine that the air is filling the lungs and the belly, and it's actually pushing your arms up as you breathe in. So let's try that. Inhaling and let it go. And one more inhale. And then we're going to do it to the side. Inhale, arms up, and exhale over to one side. And then take a breath here. Keep your heart open, so turn that shoulder up, maybe you even look to the ceiling. And then bring it back to center. Inhale up, and then exhale to the other side. Keep that heart open, look up to the ceiling. And back to center. All right. Now we're going to go onto hands and knees for our cat-cow. So when I go into my cat-cow position, my knees are directly under my hips. So my knees are not pushed together, they are a little bit wider. And my wrists are under my shoulders. So I'm a good tabletop position here. Now, you're going to inhale and look up. This is your cow position. You're going to drop your cow belly here and lift your head and your tailbone. And as you breathe out, we're going to fold it under like an angry cat. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the head and the tailbone. And exhale. Fold it under like you're looking at your belly button. Inhale up. Exhale down. Follow your breath. Take some intentional, long, slow, deep breaths and follow with movement. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is something you should probably do every day if you sit a lot for work. This is something that you don't even have to get out of bed to do, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to come to the belly, flat on your belly, and you can stack your hands, and we're just going to lift the ankles and windshield wiper them side to side. So let your head rest, and just windshield wiper side to side. See if you can let your low back relax. This movement is the actual opposite of sitting all day, right? So our hips are straight, they're opening up, and we're getting a little stretch in the front of the thighs. And you can just do this as long as it feels good. And then you can place the feet down. Now, I want you to find your strap or your scarf or whatever you're going to use. And we're going to come to our back. Now, something that I really like to do when I'm down on my back for the first time of the day or when I start my yoga practice just to warm up is I bend the knees and I once again windshield wiper. So I really like windshield wipers, obviously. But this is just a nice way to reset the pelvis and to introduce just some gentle movement. And once again, you can do that as long as it feels good. All right, so once your knees are back to center, we're going to take our strap, and I want you to hold it in both hands. We're going to wrap it around our foot. You can pick whichever foot you want to start with. Now your other foot is placed on the floor and your knee is bent. Now all I want you to do is to bend that knee, keeping that scarf or that belt on the bottom of your foot, right in the arch, and you're just going to pull it towards you. You can go as deep or as lightly as you want. And then as we breathe, we're going to follow this with the breath. We're going to inhale and press the foot out as far as we can. It doesn't have to be completely straight. And then exhale it down. Now try to keep your thigh all the way up to your knee in the same spot. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Now while you're doing this, notice if your knee is starting to splay out to the side. If it is, see if you can just clock that back to center. You could even let your heart point, or your knee point more toward your heart. Inhale it up, exhale it down. Awesome, and then we'll transition it to the other side. If you want to take a minute and windshield wiper again, just kind of hitting the reset button, that's okay. And then we'll do it on the other side. So, You're starting off with the knee bent as close as you can get it to your chest. Clock that knee right into the center here. We don't want it splaying out. It won't help us that way. And then inhale up, exhale down. And just be gentle with yourself here. There's no reason to force it. It will not help you to force it. Inhale it up, exhale down. Good. All right. Now, I want you to find your pillow or your blanket or whatever you're going to use. I'm going to use one of my yoga blankets. And I want you to take it and roll it like you would roll a yoga mat, if you can. If you have a pillow, just kind of fold it in half, okay? Now, this is probably, 6 inches around in diameter or in thickness. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to place it between my knees. My knees are still bent. I'm still laying flat on my back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze this pillow or this blanket with my thighs. Now just notice, just squeeze it for a minute, squeeze it, and notice where the tension occurs, where that squeeze happens. You want the squeeze to happen in the inner thigh, okay? You don't want to be overcompensating with your glutes or with your belly. See if you can release all the muscles in your belly and your glutes and just squeeze from that inner thigh, okay? So we're going to take a minute, and as we inhale, we're going to squeeze it as hard as we can, just with the inner thigh muscles, and then exhale, let it go. And let's do that 3 times. We're going to inhale, squeeze, and exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze, and exhale, release. And one more time, inhale, squeeze, and exhale, release it. Good. Now, that's all you have to do there. That's also something that you can do in bed. So go ahead and place your pillow to the side or your blanket. And the final thing we're going to do, this is only if it's available to you, is we're going to do a reclined goddess pose. So what I do is I take the bottom of my feet, like prayer feet, together, and I let my knees come wide. Now, if this is not comfortable for you, that's okay. You can take a blanket or a pillow and support your thigh or your knee here. So just kind of stuff it in under the hip there and see if it will let you open the inner thigh. You can stay here as long as you like. Remember to breathe deeply and to fill the belly with air. Okay, so this would be a great time to move into meditation or into your final resting pose, Shavasana. Just go ahead and pause that video and take a few moments just to be and to breathe. Thanks, guys. Enjoy.